Hello, my friends, and welcome back. I think tonight what we're going to try is uh, after you've finished a painting and that painting has dried. I mean, this is the painting we did yesterday, and it's dry, as you can see. There's no paint on my fingers. Uh, I looked at the picture of this painting, and there were some changes I think needs to be made that would enhance it and help it, in my opinion. Uh, Number one, I don't like the brown top on the silo. I think it needs a little more red in it. Uh, the vacant space that we have in here, I think would really benefit from a bush and a tree. Uh, maybe do a tree here and maybe one back here. Uh, but I thought, before I go and change this painting, maybe y'all would like to watch me do it. Don't know if it's something y'all would really care to see or not, but I figured, why not give it a shot and let y'all see me make a change or some additions to a painting. Now the colors I got out are the same colors I was using yesterday. Uh, I have out the titanium white, a little phthalo blue, Indian yellow, yellow ochre, sap green. There's still a little dark sienna left, a little Van Dyke brown, alizarin crimson, and bright red, the evil bright red. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up the little angled brush that I got, and it's number 4 angled, and I'm going to dip it, just the tip of it, in some paint thinner, and I'm going to go right into my Van Dyke brown, and I'm just going to pull both sides through and just load a little paint on it. It don't take a lot, but just load it up with Van Dyke brown. And I'm going to come up here and I'm going to come all the way through the canvas. I'm going to start out with a light pool, and then as I go down, I'm going to apply more pressure and get bigger and bigger as I go down. Just like so. And then I'll stop it out here in the pasture, and we'll work on giving it some feet. Give it a little root system, because as trees grow, they get bigger as they come down. And we know that if he's sitting out in that field by himself, he's going to be bad lonely. So instead of us leaving him out here by himself, we'll give him a little friend over here. And his little friend don't have to be very big. So we won't apply much pressure to his little friend. We'll just bring it straight down, and we'll stop him over here. And we'll widen out the bottom a little. And I really do think we would benefit if we had one back here that came down and stopped about here, and we'll widen him out at the bottom, give him a little root, little foot. Now with the Van Dyke brown still on my brush, I'm gonna go right into the dark red, and I'm gonna sit there and just rub the two colors together. And this is gonna make a dark red. But I really think that the silo would benefit from having a little red on it. I really do. but we don't want it to be a screaming red. We just want a little redness to it. About like so. I think that's all it needs. And to me that just looks better. And since we've got our trees added, time to put some limbs on them. So I'm gonna come in here with my scrap liner brush and I'm gonna load it up with thinner and I'm gonna bring it in that same color, the Van Dyke Brown, and just roll it around in that paint and just load it up real good. Just roll it. Just roll it around in it. And then when you go to pull it out, just keep spinning it and pull it out to a sharp point. And then you can come in and you can start giving it some limbs here and there. Let them shake off the brush. You know, just shake them as you're pulling them off. You know, give yourself a couple little limbs out here. It don't take many limbs when you're doing this. You just wanna add, you know, a few limbs here and there. Just trying to keep a tree look. You know how trees grow. They some of them have a lot of limbs, some of them have very few limbs. Some of them have big knots on the side of them. We'll put a knot on this one. Just like so. Give it a couple light spots here and there, a couple dark spots. Because we're going to come back in a few minutes and we're going to add a little texture to it. When we're going to highlight it, we'll add a little texture. Come back up here and give our limbs some color. Because a lot of these we're gonna put a few leaves on them, which is going to cover up a bunch of the trees that we made in the back. But hey, we got practice for making them, so we'll be all right. At least we know how we did it. And this tree here, we won't have as many limbs on it. It's not quite as old enough yet to have a ton of limbs. Just like this one over here, it's still a grower. It ain't quite reached maturity yet. So we'll have just a couple of limbs on it. Just like about so. Alright. And then to put some limbs on it. Remember the color. If you didn't watch that video, you don't remember. I've got a color made here that has some Van Dyke Brown in it and a little bit of white. It's kind of a tan color. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back up here in my Van Dyke Brown and bring it down in this color that was made. Now it'll lighten it down some, but it's not going to lighten it down a lot. And I'm just tapping, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't even show you what brush I'm using. The little round foliage brush, the half round they call it. And I'm just tapping that right into some Van Dyke Brown, dark sienna, and a little white mixed together. Then I'm going to come right up here and just touch ever so lightly. And I don't like that. That's not what I'm looking for. So what I will do is I will pick up some more. I'm going to grab some more Van Dyke Brown here. I'll just put out a little more Van Dyke Brown. Probably about a half a Hershey's Kiss full. And I'm going to just go right up in here and just tap this brown right on the brush. Just a straight in tap. I'm not doing anything special. Then we'll come up here and just lightly tap on this Van Dyke Brown. And I'm going to do that over all the limbs. We'll cover some of the trunk to make it look like limbs are sticking out towards us. Maybe right through here we'll put a couple. Then we'll come out here and start adding some limbs to the tree beside it. This could almost be like father and son standing here, or mother and son, or whatever you want them to be. But we want to get this dark color down where we have it up here. That way when we start highlighting, we'll have our dark already on the canvas. Because as I've said 1,000 times, y'all probably sick of hearing it, you gotta have dark to show light. Then we'll come over here on this one by itself and we'll add him a few leaves here and there. Just maintain that tree look, tree shape. Give him a few little leaves here and there. Come across him like so. And we'll cover the trunk right through here on this one, just to give it that look. And we'll even come at the bottom of these, and we'll just add a couple of bushes across here that are growing on the trees. And we'll come out here and we'll add a little bush on this side that's just growing out here. And then we will clean that brush. And we are going to pick up a 1-inch, just a regular 1-inch brush here. Just a regular 1-inch. And I'm going to put it on a little bit thinner. Very little thinner. And I am going to go right into some of the yellow ochre and sap green. And tap those two colors right on the brush. Now the sap green is the dominant color in this, so it's going to try real hard to dominate the yellow ochre. So you just have to keep tapping until it fades that green down a little. But that's not hard to do. Alright, then we're going to come right up here with the corner of the brush and just softly tapping. We're going to start adding this in some highlights. Just here and there. Just maintaining our tree shape. We want to make it look like a tree. Just remember I don't know. I keep saying, remember, like y'all, like everybody watched this video, and I'm sure some of y'all didn't watch it. But in that video, I said I didn't want these trees to maintain much of a fall look. But I mean, sometimes it's kind of hard for them not to. But I didn't want them to look real summery neither. And at one point I said I wanted them to look like fall had already happened. Well, I didn't. I guess what I should have said is winter is over and these trees are just now starting to make their transition into spring. And that's kind of what I was going for. I want them to look like like fall is over, winter's over. It's still a little cold, so everything hadn't started growing just like it's supposed to yet. So that's why if we're going to have any of the, I'll put a little white in this. If it's going to have any of the springy type colors in it, we want them toned down. We don't want them real what's the word I'm looking for? We just don't want them too springy. Make them still look like they're still trying to determine what year it is or what time of year it is. And they are, I mean, it's pretty obvious that they're growing. All right, now we're going to take a little more white in this one. I'm going to come right in here and give it a couple little green spots. And this one, I like that, the way that's going to look outside that, above that little dark spot right there. Then I'm going to go right into the alizarin crimson. And I'm going to load alizarin crimson right on the brush. And maybe a little of the yellow ochre. Because yellow ochre and crimson make a pretty color. It's like a peachy color. So we'll come up and we'll just tap it on in a few places. Being sure not to kill all the dark. About like so, that's all we need. Just to make it look like we got a little tree growing out here that is doing its own little thing and taking care of life.
Okay.
Just trying to make a living is all it's doing. Then we'll come back and highlight our little bushes here.
Oh, hang on, you can't hang up.
Under the tree.
Go.
Just in a couple of spots. Uh-oh. Something's made those little dogs mad again. I think they stay madder than they do happy. That dachshund breed it's a mess. But about like that's all we need. And we're going to put just a few highlights on these trees. It won't take much. And we're going to highlight them with a little bit of white and a little bit of the dark sienna color that we had. Because like I said, it won't take much. Because we don't really have a lot of light in this painting. So I'm just barely going to come down through here with that color. And this color is just a little bit lighter than the Van Dyke Brown was. So we'll pull it down and we'll just kind of blend it on in. And then on that back side, to give it some reflected light, we'll come in and pick up a little blue. We'll pull that blue down the back side just to give it that little reflected light look. We'll pull it on in and just kind of blend it away there, about like so. And we'll pick up a little more white. And we'll come on this side of this one. And we'll do the same thing. It's not going to take much. It's not going to take much light at all. And we'll just smear it in. Just kind of blend it away. It's about like so. It don't have to be a real bright highlight. Just enough to let you know it's on there. And then just kind of blend it away. And then we'll pick us up a little more blue. We'll come in and put that reflective light behind it. Just about like so. And you can always come back in here with a little Van Dyke brown if you need to, and kind of gray it down a little bit. Because some trees actually have a grayness to them. I was looking at some trees the other day that had a gray, kind of a gray bark to them, had some kind of dark looking scratches in them, or on the bark. It was just totally different looking altogether. I don't know what kind of trees they were. Probably some type of oak, if I had to guess. And we'll add a little lightness to this one. And we'll pick up a little blue. And we'll add a little reflected light to it. Won't take much for it. Just about like that's all we need. I think I'll put just a little bit of light outside of our silo here, just to kind of give it an outside edge. Just a little bit. It shouldn't take much. And go in there and clean this bottom up, about like so. And then I'll pick up a little bit of that blue color that we used over here, and we'll come back down this roof and clean it up, like so. And then clean the top of the roof line up. And I think that just gave the whole painting a complete different life. I mean, I don't know, it looks more alive now than it did to me. This area right in here, we could take and just tap on a little of the green color, and maybe just come out in here just a little. I don't think we'll have to add a lot, just to maybe soften down some of this kind of brownish grass, and then soften down around the bushes. Just very, very light. I mean, I don't think it's going to take much to do it. And then up here around our little building, get it set down, all out through here. And then maybe between our fences. Excuse me. To me, that just, I don't know. I got something going on right there. Let's fix that. Y'all see that right here? we're gonna have to fix it. Looks like a little bit of Van Dyke Brown in it would do it. Like a little light spot jumped off our roof. We'll come back in here with a little darkness to just kind of blend them in. Then we can pick us up a little bit of that light color. Won't take much. Maybe bring a little bit more white over here into it to give that a kind of give this a kind of a cobblestone type effect. Just touching it on here and there, all the way down. I think that'll add a little life to it. Maybe pull around in some spots to make it look round. About like that. Had contemplating on putting a little gate on the fence, but then the more I looked at it, the more I kind of liked that open gate look. It just, I don't know, to me it just fit the painting, that, you know, the fact that it was open. It I don't know why, but it made it look to me like it belonged there that way. So I'm gonna leave it. And with that, I'm going to say I'm done. It left a little of the sky in. You can still see some of the clouds in the back. You can still see some of the distant trees, some of the mid-ground trees, some of the front-ground trees now. The fence, the barn with the silo, and to me, that just added a whole new look to this painting. So with that said, I'm gonna stop right there, and I want to just say I love y'all. I love each and every one of you. God loves you more. Thank each one of y'all so much for watching these videos of mine and liking my channel and subscribing. It means so much. You know, if you want to continue to help me out, share my link on Facebook or any social media and just tell people I need the subscribers. I mean, that's what's going to get me in the algorithm. I just need as many subscribers as I can get. And I know that, you know, it sounds like a me thing, but I am, you know, I'm the one doing it, and I am the one needing the help. But I do appreciate it. And I will probably get another video done tomorrow. But this one, I don't think this should be a very, very long video at all. I don't know what I'll title it yet, but I'll come up with something. In the meantime, thank you all. Like I said, none of this be possible without you. So y'all have a blessed night.